Okay, let's be real for a second. You probably think you're saying these words correctly, but are you? We're about to find out. We're going to tackle 15 words that you might be mispronouncing, the ones that make you stand out for all the wrong reasons. And let's be honest, the source material just hits the nail on the head with this one. Native speakers are judging you. Silently. Ouch. But hey, don't worry, because by the end of this, you're going to be the one in on all the secrets. So you're probably wondering why. Why is English pronunciation so darn tricky? And that is a fantastic question. The truth is, English is kind of this wild mashup of a bunch of different languages. And its rules, well, they seem like they were made to be broken. The spelling is often a total trap. So let's go ahead and demystify some of the biggest culprits, shall we? All right, first up, let's put on our detective hats for the case of the silent letters. Yep, these are those sneaky, phantom letters that you see written down, but poof, they just vanish when you actually say the word. Okay, let's kick things off with an absolute classic. So many people look at this and say, Wednesday. But listen closely. That D is totally silent. And that second E? Yeah, it's gone too. All you need to say is Wednesday. Let's try it together. Wednesday. Simple as that. Now this one is such a trap. It's so easy to look at it and just say island, right? But that S is a total decoy. It has no business being there when you speak. It's completely silent. The correct way to say it is simply island. Here's a great example of a pattern in English. You never, ever say the K in night. It's just night. Yep, sounds exactly the same as the word for nighttime. This is that same silent K you'll find in words like no or knife. See? Once you spot the pattern, you really can't unsee it. Oh yeah, here's another one that trips people up. You don't say psychology. That P at the beginning, it's totally silent. It's a little gift, or maybe a curse, from the ancient Greek words that English borrowed. So what we actually say is psychology. And to wrap up our little detective mission, we've got this word that we borrowed straight from French. See that S at the end? Well, it's basically on a permanent vacation. You just don't pronounce it. It's debris. And you'll want to keep this idea in mind because words from other languages are going to be a big theme here. Okay, if you thought silent letters were tricky, well, things are about to get even weirder. We're now diving into spelling versus sound. This is where the letters on the page are basically lying to your face. 3. Just 3. Now, what in the world does the number 3 have to do with anything? Well, that's the actual number of syllables in our next word, even though it totally looks like it should have 4. And here it is, comfortable. So many people carefully say comfortable, hitting every single one of those syllables. But native speakers, we get lazy. We just kind of smush it all together. It becomes comfortable. 3 quick syllables. It's all about speed and efficiency, I guess. Okay, this one is super subtle, but it's a huge tell. So many people say February, but look closely. There's an R right after the B, and it absolutely needs to be heard. So make sure you're saying February. That first little R sound makes all the difference, trust me. And here we go again. This is just like what we did with comfortable. A lot of people say jewelry, making it 3 syllables. But nope, we drop that whole middle sound. It just becomes jewelry. 2 syllables, not 3. Quick, clean, and to the point. I mean, look at this one. It just looks wild, doesn't it? That ch in there makes no sense at all. But the pronunciation is incredibly simple. The source material gives us the perfect way to remember it. It just sounds like the word hot, but with a Y in front. Yacht. That's literally it. Yacht. All right, for our final round, we're going on a little world tour. This section is all about words from abroad. See, English is a total thief. It loves to borrow words from other languages. The problem is it often forgets to borrow the pronunciation rules, which leads to some pretty fascinating results. So, let's kick this off with a real monster. Just take a look at this word, C-O-L-O-N-E-L. How in the world would you say that? Seriously, go on. Say it out loud to yourself right now. You got your guess locked in? Okay, you ready for this? It's pronounced kernel. I know. Where did that R come from? There is no R in the spelling. But there it is, clear as day in the sound. This word is an absolute classic, maybe the king of confusing English pronunciation. Up next, we're heading back to France for another loan word. This isn't facade, no. That C has a soft S sound, and all the stress goes on the second half of the word. So you get facade, the front of a building. Ah, a big one for all you business visionaries out there. It is not entrepreneur. Let's break this beast down into little pieces, nice and slow. It's on, tra, pra, newer. Let's put it together. Entrepreneur. You got this. Here's a military rank that messes with people on both sides of the ocean. The big mistake is saying lieutenant. Now, the ending might sound a little different depending on if you're in the UK or the US, but the beginning sound is the key. It starts with lef, lieutenant, not lou. And for the grand finale, the final boss of pronunciation, the sauce that's an absolute nightmare to read off the bottle. Forget trying to sound out Worcestershire. Just don't. This comes from a place name in Britain, and they've chopped it way, way down. All you have to say is Worcestershire. Just say it with confidence, Worcestershire. And just like that, you did it. You've officially cracked the code on 15 of the most notoriously tricky words in the English language. Seriously, now you sound like a native. Okay, let's do a super quick lightning round recap of the biggest offenders, just to make sure they stick in your brain. Ready? Colonel is K-U-R-N-L. Worcestershire is W-O-S-T-E-R-C-H. Wednesday is Wednesday. Comfortable is comfortable. And entrepreneur is entrepreneur. Boom, done. All right, moment of truth. Be honest with yourself. Which one of these words was your personal pronunciation nightmare? Which one were you getting wrong this whole time? Come on, admitting it is the very first step to nailing it every single time from now on.